What's up, y'all? It's your boy DJKillzownJones. Remember the name or remember your lane. Me and Breezy up in this mug, man. It's Beatz and Bitz podcast. Birthday DLC part 2. I should have said, and I probably changed it. No more numbers and no more numbers. But yeah, we back in the building, man. What's Breezy? What's going on with you, bro?
Not much. Just getting back into the swing of things with artwork and coding and just getting back into the swing of things, really. Got sidetracked with a lot of shit, but that's pretty much it for the most part.
Yeah, and I kind of got over the last couple of months since we did the Sony. The last one we did was episode 40, the Sony E3 press conference. I was kind of brainstorming on like what we're gonna take the show and everything. So now we switching over to a new format. We're gonna try to hit y'all with something every day. And me and Breezy was talking about this off air, but really, reason being, we want to hit y'all with more shows, and we want to stay competitive, and not necessarily competitive because we want your ears and everything else like that, but we want to make sure we stay consistent and current what's going on. And I kind of got inspired like by shows like Everyday Struggle, the homie Next Gen 720, O'Shea Duke Jackson. And me and Breezy talk pretty much unless something is going on in our lives, we try to talk, on I would say like a weekly basis. If and then we talk pretty much every other day on instant message and texts and everything else like that. So, just so we can stay in touch more, and then because Breezy has been really an integral part of the Killzown channel and the brand and everything else like that, because he really pumped me up and inspired me, and I try to do the same thing with him. So, we're gonna go ahead and get straight to it now that we got everything pretty much up out the way, all the other stuff. So y'all gonna see us. We got a SoundCloud and everything. All the links and everything will be in the description box if they're not already in there. And the new website is coming, beatsandbits.com. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I got like a little splash site you can go to. Ain't nothing really there yet, but I'm gonna show y'all what the site is looking like right now. But yeah, just to show y'all what it's looking like. It's not the final product, but we do have a website and everything else, so we official. I don't even think I showed Breezy this, so everybody seeing this for the first time. So we got to
hit him with the Jeff Keighley world premiere.
yeah. Really, no, he took that from So we got all 40 episodes right here. I switched this because Instagram wasn't working. Plus the theme I'm working with is cool. But yeah, no, he stole that from BT shit.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, man. And in MTV when they did the little video shows. But yeah, man. So we jumping right into it, man. So Breezy, one of the reasons that we didn't really do a show, Breezy. He was down there in Florida, he down south, and they just had the hurricane. So I only got to see, because my family was already, recovering from Hurricane Harvey up in Houston. They didn't really get affected too much, but it was hard for me to get in and out. Other people in our family got affected, property damage, and people couldn't get in and out, go to work or school, and roads were shut down, and what I'm saying, it was a trying time. Then we switched over to Florida. Irma happened, and Miami got hit a whole lot, but I don't know. Breezy was telling me a little bit, but I want him to tell y'all like as far as like the protocol, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, not just natural disasters, but we didn't had a lot of shootings and stuff going on. They talking about doing an EMP drill just in case we go to war. things of that nature. So, like, Breezy, can you talk about that whole, that whole process of what happens before, during, and after the storms?
Well, before a storm happens, normally what smart people do is before the storm. Well, here's what you're supposed to do. Most Florida folks, we don't panic when it's a hurricane. We'll still be buying beer and hot dogs and shit and whatnot. So, like, if it's not over a category like 2 or 3, most Florida folks don't even worry about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, leading into hurricane season, you're supposed to get a bunch of water, bunch of batteries, because all that shit goes on sale. That's what you're supposed to get: a bunch of water, bunch of batteries, bunch of ice, stored in your freezers and whatnot. Then, if there is a hurricane coming, depending on how strong of a hurricane it's gonna be, you have your evacuation routes and what you go to and whatnot. But a lot of Florida people don't even bother, because a lot of us who live in newer homes and newer buildings, all of these buildings are up to codes for Category 5 hurricanes. So most folks don't leave. A lot of the people you saw evacuating were a lot of the new people who moved down south from up north during the housing market boom and then crash. So a lot of them just were like, they've never experienced a bad hurricane, because we went 2 or 3 years without hurricanes. And then you had the lower key section, which is where all the old folks pretty much retire and fish nonstop 24/7. A lot of them have houses right on the water. And so they would have got a lot of storm surge, so they kind of left as well. But for the most part, during the storms, it's pretty chill for the most part. You may lose power, you may not lose power, but that's why you have barbecue grills. You have like extra ice to store, any types of meats, anything you might want to grill, a sandwich meat, or if you want to have cold water, sodas. Also, you want to get gasoline before the storm hits, so you have gas in case you need to travel anywhere, because gas ain't going to be around for a bit. But it's pretty chill. Now, after the storm, they always put you under a curfew so they can assess damage. Normally, it's trees and power lines for the most part. That's all it is really trees and power lines. There ain't going to be no fast food places open. They ain't gonna have no food when the fast food places. Like, son, 2 weeks even after Irma, McDonald's, all they were serving were hotcakes and hamburgers. They ain't have no McNuggets. They ain't have no fries. They had only Coke. They ain't even have orange soda. They ain't have shit. None of the places had shit. So it's like, you understand, like, when a storm hits, a bad storm anyway, and it shuts down shit, like, you're not getting none of the stuff you're used to getting. None of the grocery stores had anything except for like that tofu and health food shit. They were out of all the good shit. So like, you need to stock up going into hurricane season, because the day when they say a storm is going to hit, like a week before, if they say, oh, it's going to come this way, everybody's buying everything out. And these are usually the snowbirds that come from up north from their winters down south for the summer, and they just freaking the fuck out. And it's just like, son, y'all should know better. You see the Floridians already getting all their shit in August before it gets further down in the hurricane season. So
yeah, I mean that was another thing, man. A lot of people was canceling their vacations and changing where they was going. And that was good to get a perspective from you, because a lot of people don't really get, don't really get forewarned like that, and then a lot of people get forewarned and they don't even be paying attention. But
well, because to evacuate is a lot of money. Like, I have family members that did go north to Georgia, and see, they got caught in all that traffic. They were stuck in the highway when the storm hit. Then when they got north, they realized that the storm had passed and it was gone and everything, and they couldn't even get back south because of all the traffic that went north to avoid the storm. So they were stuck in traffic throughout the entirety of Irma. And when they got back, their house was perfectly fine, other than a tree getting pushed over. Oh, well, it wasn't really a tree. It was like a 5-foot tall bush. But like, they were stuck in traffic the whole time. We were here. We had power. We had hot dogs. I was grilling in the middle of the storm. Had the whole neighborhood stinking. I had hot dogs. I had hamburgers. I had bacon. My neighbor was blasting music, drinking tequila. Like, yo, it was like a party for us. And all the other neighbors who are new from up north came down. They peeking through the windows, looking at us like, "What the hell are y'all doing?" Like, "Yo, we good. It's just everyday shit for us."
Mm-hmm. Y'all dealing, and then y'all also dealing with them tropical storms and you know, the other stuff that goes on. That's not maybe not as strong as a hurricane, but you know,
Yeah.
getting a whole bunch of winds and a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying, like that type of stuff. And
Yeah,
I
I
feel,
mean, when Irma hit, we had two tornadoes, one north of me and one south of me. That's like kind of did like a split, like a 2-lane split, like in a bowling alley or a 2-pin split.
mm,
And like they hit north and they hit south. So further north of me got more damage and further south got more damage. But their damage came mostly from trailer parks and trailer homes where they ain't really got no hurricane proof structure. I mean, it's a house on wheels. Shit's gonna roll away or get picked up and tossed. It's not like a concrete structure that's been cemented down into the ground and it's thousands of pounds.
mm,
And that's the thing, is like a lot of the damage you see online for Florida anyway, not the islands, but for Florida, these are homes that were built after, before that area got hit with Hurricane Andrew, which is another Category 5 storm we had. So like all the building codes for most of the houses, homes in Florida are Hurricane 5 ready. So like you keep maintenance up with your house, you buy a newer home, you'll be good. Now there are some older homes that have roof damage and stuff. Like when we checked when the storm was over, we had a couple trees split, like the mango trees split and throw the branch away. And our neighbor was missing like 6 or 7 tiles off his house. Another neighbor, a tree she had in her front yard in front of her truck, that got pushed through the front window of her truck.
mm.
But like everyone told her not to leave that tree there, but she ain't listening. So, oh well, there goes your truck. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyway, that's not interrupting, but yeah, it's not that big a deal. Like everybody be freaking out.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the fun stuff. So a lot of stuff, a lot of games and a lot of music dropped. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open up right quick, just live mixtape, because we didn't had like, and let me get Spotify open here too. Oh yeah, Spotify. Let me Google Play Music, one of the two. I'm on Google Play Music. I'm gonna do Google Play Music, but you know, um, there's a lot of good music. That I don't know if you didn't, caught up on it, Breezy. But Gucci dropped like two since like the summer. He dropped the Drop Top WAP, Wiz or whatever. Then on top of that, he just put out the Mr. Davis and got married. Um, yeah.
No, I ain't really been up on any music. I've been keeping my head into the programming code and the artwork and whatnot. And I did hear a couple singles off of Chris Brown's new album.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to get to. Yeah, that just dropped.
I heard a couple new songs from like it was a Baka Not Nice or whoever he is.
Yeah, it's a dude that he be with Drake, and that's another dude. That was like the dude. Let's gonna slide into our next topic, man. That was one of the guys that got like we just gonna have that conversation as far as entertainment goes, because we've had a lot of people get accused of being of sexual misconduct, right? So we got we're gonna go ahead on and get into that. So like he was one of the first people, because Drake, he got out of jail. Drake had been helping him beat the case to get home, and then bam, So now we're gonna slide in that. So Tyrese, I'm gonna bring up some before we get to that, because I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, man. This is what came out. I've been listening to this. Just came out. I didn't listen to that yet. My lady listened to the Chris Brown. I've been listening to the Yo Gotti and of course the Big Crit. I went and bought the Big Crit. Hold on. I had to get it, man. This is a classic album, from a highly, highly underrated artist. So I need everybody to go and hold on right quick. Okay, I need everybody to go pick this up, man. It's that Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. We can go into the games too. Mario Odyssey dropped.
Yeah.
I ended up getting that. So You know, we got that on deck. I'm getting ready to review. Getting ready to review More Fight. Call of Duty dropping Friday. I played the Wolfenstein. Everything is pretty much solid, but I've been wanting more new stuff. Like I've been wanting more like music. I'm kind of not like this. Besides this, like it's a lot of the music that came out. Like I'm liking singles off of the album, but I ain't liking the whole project. Like the last whole project that I liked, and I'm gonna have to pick it up, was the Weeknd. You know, the Weeknd album.
Solid. Yeah, that was solid.
Like, and that was almost a year ago. So it's like, you know, like I like the Jay-Z 4 for 4. You know, that was another one. Okay, so that was about a few months ago.
Yeah, that was solid too.
What else? But it ain't nothing that I just sat down and just was like every track was like fire. You know, it wasn't like that. And then games wise, it's like it's so much coming out that you want to sit down. Like I just went back and I've been doing, like I was telling you, my Let's Play series. Let's finish this. I went back and finished Mafia 3 and all the DLC because I got the season pass, and that was fire. Like people, I mean, other than only grab I got about that game was that it was it was no fast travel, and then you know play Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. That was, you know, I think people getting franchise fatigue on a lot of stuff because I know I am, you know.
And microtransaction fatigued.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that next after we get to this. Well, let's go ahead. Let's slide into that first. We're gonna go from less serious to real serious. So, yeah, man. A lot of the games I remember having that epic rant when we did the Chris Brown a few months ago. Well, actually, earlier this year when we did the Chris Brown versus Soulja Boy episode. That episode was probably like when I remember it was you and Chauncey. Shout out Chauncey. I was trying to get him on, but he live streaming right now. I had that hour and a half rant about the DLC and the season passes and the microtransactions and stuff like that. And we was just talking about before you got on air about the little Ace Combat game, the little free to play one they had. And back then they was doing microtransactions. Like before, you know, they start popping up in these, you know, these full price AAA games. They was popping up, you know, in the free to play games like a fool. Like that was the backbone of the free to play game. And at first I was upset, but now I feel like, you know, it's a lot of different avenues to play games. You know, you got like we got Family Video in my area, so we go there. They got like a half off thing. You can get games and movies half off. So it's like $1, $2 for every movie, $4 for every game. You get to keep them for 5 days. Many people, local libraries, like I just got Destiny 2 from the library, and they let me keep it for 2 weeks. So it's like you got GameFly, you got Redbox still. You know what I'm saying? You got avenues to play the games, you know, cheaper. You got all these sales that's coming up. I mean, I still feel like they shouldn't make the games be based around this because certain games, it really, really dampens the experience because it makes the game it's basically like gambling almost, or, you know, being a drug addict because it's like, I got to go out there and play the game, and I'm not getting what I want. You know, and Star Wars Battlefront came under fire because they said, hey, they put out this skeleton of the game for the last game, which was a great game, but a lot of the content was missing. They added a lot of it back in for free, but then they had this $50 season pass, and they said, we're going to take the season pass away. We're going to regularly update the content. We're going to have a story mode. We're going to have co-op mode. We're going to have an arcade mode. We're going to have all these modes. Then you get to the beta, they got the crates.
Yep.
Then they got the star cards in there. The star cards was in the other game, but it was easier to get. It took forever to level up. So now they've changed the I'm gonna pull it up. They have changed the star cards now. So it's no longer where like you can't get epic cards in the crates. You know what I'm saying? You got to grind up and play certain weapons or whatever. You have to be a certain level to get them or whatever to be unlocked. So you can't just buy a whole bunch of crates. And you know what I'm saying? Like, at Beatz, you're going to have to still hit the level requirement. So if you get a level 12 weapon, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't just jump in and just beast with it. So I like it, and I'm glad that they listen to the community. EA actually, you know, is listening to the community.
Well, they didn't have a choice.
Well, I mean, yeah, they did because they had. I mean, because you know, Visceral got closed.
Listen,
and they.
I don't know if you noticed, but when everybody found out that this is what the new Star Wars game was going to be, now when they launched the game, when they launched the beta, it was like 100,000 plus people in the beta. But once they found out what the beta was like, there was only 100 people playing the game throughout the beta.
Yeah.
So, like, that was a big fuck you. So they had to change shit. Mm-hmm. They had no choice. People actually, I don't know what's finally clicked with the majority of people playing these games, but it clicked enough to the point where EA was like, oh, we can't do it like this. This is too aggressive. And another company that's going to get hit hard like that is Activision. Because Activision just got called out for a patent that they had, and everyone's like, they're not going to pick up the new Call of Duty either. So...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is basically what they said on the site. This was published the other night. As game makers, watching millions of passionate players get their hand on games been incredibly exciting. I'm thinking I'm gonna pick this up still because of that story mode. But I got EA access, Breezy, so you know what your boy gonna be doing.
That's cool.
10 out, I'm gonna do it just like you do it. Bust that story mode down and come back when it's on EA access for the free. So so I might do it like that. I might get it because I do want to play it beforehand and stream it and everything else, and a lot of the homeboys is getting it. Shout out Mel Weezy at the Geek Podcast. So let me go ahead and read this. As game makers watching millions of passionate players get their hands on our games, been incredibly exciting and in many ways inspiring. Believers, we say your participation is making the game better. But humming so many took the time only to try the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta, but share your thoughts on it too. The beta was a small piece of it. Yes, more content, new locations, heroes, modes, and all new single player campaign. Heard your feedback loud and clear after the first game. There's more player choice in multiplayer through a deeper progressive system and evolving event-driven live service that keeps the community moving forward moving away from season pass. Have all the gameplay content free for Star Wars Battlefront 2 players. Rest assured, we're continuing to listen to all and come out. Okay, we're gonna skip down to what happened.
Right, because that shit sounds like a fucking ad for Star Wars, a game.
Yeah. So this is the changes. So you can get this is all what you get out of in game. Basically, you don't have to get it out of the you can get weapons, attachments, credits, star cards, and most outfits and victory poses. You have to level up to get the most powerful items. Crates are gonna have star cards, outfits, emotes, and victory poses. Crates are gonna be basically earned through completing challenges or other gameplay or by purchasing, and you can get them. You can buy them still. If you have a duplicate star card and crate, you'll get crafting parts, which you could then help get the star card. And lastly, you have to earn the right to be able to upgrade star. Unlike most weapons, you can only unlock them if you have reached a high enough rank, which is determined by playing the game. So basically, they got it together. So I'm happy that they listen to it. Listen to us. Activision ain't gonna, because they been getting hit forever about this. They was one of the first people, I think, right before Overwatch came out. They had the they had the crates or whatever and Black Ops 3. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't foresee them getting hit too hard, because even though they've dropped in sales, they still make enough to justify making the sequel and the sequel after that each time they drop.
The reason they might get hit hard is because of what the patent they filed is. What the patent is they filed is they basically have a system, or they got engineers to design a system where, say like you're in a game with me, right? And I buy a badass sniper rifle, right? And you see me kicking ass with that sniper rifle. You see me sniping everybody, killing everybody. And then me and you get put on opposite teams, and I'm just killing you nonstop with this sniper rifle. And you say, damn it, Breezy's kicking my ass with the sniper rifle. I'm going to just bite the bullet by the sniper rifle, right? So you go and you buy the sniper rifle. What they then do is they put you in a game with terrible people, low-level people who are not good at the game. So then you can kick their ass with that sniper rifle. And it repeats this cycle of, oh, in order to be good at this game, I need to spend money on the better gun in order to be good at the game. So it's essentially false advertising my skill through a purchase of a gun that I got in game. And it's beyond a microtransaction level at that point. It's them changing the game temporarily to get a sale out of you to make you think you'll do better with buying a gun versus you just getting good. And apparently that's what's going to be in this Call of Duty that's coming out. And everybody's like, they're probably not going to buy it because that's some fucked up shit there. Because that's tricking people into thinking they need to buy that gun to be better at the game. And then they'll get the gun, and it's going to deliberately match them with shitty people to make them think that they had a good purchase. And then the shitty people who they get matched against with this good gun are going to think, oh, I need that gun. So it's just going to repeat this process of everybody buying these guns thinking they'll do better with the new gun when it's really they're just playing shittier people than themselves.
Basically, it's like, you know, a thirsty dude trying to get at a broad, so he go and buy. He see the dude got a chain on, some Versace or whatever, and Gucci or whatever, and some chains or whatever, so he can go out and pull the broad. He go out there, he get a similar easy broad, right? He thinking he getting it because
he bought the new chain.
Yeah, but not easy, but he really clicked with it, with Shorty, or it could be an easy broad. But I ain't gonna say easy broad because I don't want nobody sitting the prison.
But it's an easy broad, whatever. So he gets a new chain. It impresses the easy broad. She's like, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, it's shiny, whatever. She sleeps with the dude, and then another guy says, oh, and sleep with the same chick if he gets something shiny, and it works out. But really, it's just that chick's easy. It's not like she got any class to herself or whatever. And vice versa for a simple ass dude. You flash him your titties, he pay your rent. Whatever you want to say. Like at the end of the day, what Activision is trying to pull is some fucked up shit. It's false advertisement. It's fucking trying to convince people to spend money when really they should be trying to get good. And it's going to fuck up the whole gameplay situation because they're going to try to perpetually be matching people with shitty stats based off of what gun they bought so they can have a better experience to make them believe that they had a good purchase. So,
I mean, see, this is my thing though. People got to start. I think because I'm with you 1,000%, and I just feel like still there are more 15, 16, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old tweens and teens that's getting into gaming, and I'm starting to feel like your boy Trick Daddy. I know you seen that new. Did you see that new Vlad interview?
No, I ain't seen that.
Bruh, I love Trick Daddy, but he been tripping lately. He gonna talk about he gonna ban Meek Mill, but he ain't go get George Zimmerman. But anyway, I just feel like with him, he was talking about how the rappers or whatever, the gangsters is wearing dresses and everything else like that.
He ain't wrong.
Well, but still, this is the thing about it though. Just like in music, how that changes, games change. And
you can't be no gangster rapper wearing the latest from fucking Lane and Bryant.
Well, I mean,
Could you imagine a Navy SEAL going overseas? A Navy SEAL, military expert.
Boots.
No, not even no Versace boots. He got a fucking purse from fucking what's
Gucci purse, Coach purse.
No, what's the
Birkin?
really feminine purse?
Birkin.
He got a Victoria's Secret purse, some high heels, some makeup from Maybelline, some Jergens hand lotion, or whatever, and you think you're gonna be afraid of this dude? Like,
well, see,
no.
Before we get off topic, though, I'm just bringing that, like, that Trick Daddy saying, complaining about the new artists, about us complaining about the new games, is because these younger kids are out here buying the games, and then you still got the clueless consumer. You got the guy that he's only gonna play Call of Duty, so he gonna sink all that money into it.
That's fine. He could be a financial whale for Call of Duty. Nobody else is gonna do that, and guess what? Eventually, that guy is gonna catch on, and he's not gonna be spending his money on dumb shit.
But see, that's why. That's when the companies crash and burn, and we seen this with Nintendo. We seen this with not Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo. We've seen this with the big three companies. We've seen this, and what happens is until they crash and burn, or like it look like they gonna be and Nintendo, they ain't gonna never. They got so much money, man. They can make it rain for the next 20 years straight. Ain't nobody taking a break. You just got Reggie on one side of the stage.
But see, the thing is, all the big companies go through this like cycle, like a teeter-totter, where one company's on top, so they're arrogant as fuck, and they don't want to get along with the other two, and vice versa. Like this shit been going on since the PlayStation 2 era. And it's not going to change. Like, it's just the way shit is for these arrogant-ass companies. And the same thing with the microtransactions shit and whatnot. And, like, there's nothing wrong with microtransactions if it doesn't affect the overall gameplay for a majority of people. But when you start giving people guns and matching them with other bad players to give the belief that they need to buy that gun. Yeah, the illusion that they need to buy that new gun.
That's crazy.
To be better. Like, that's the most fucked up shit. I'm like, I don't care if you have outfits or you have poses or win poses. Like, whatever. Who gives a shit? It's just a pose. It's just an outfit. That's not going to stop me from kicking your ass in Call of Duty. You know, but if you're going to go get the fucking 50 cal with full auto and you akimbo that bitch, like, no, that's a problem. Then it's like, that's not gonna fly. Like, you can't do that at all, and that's the problem that they had with the recent Star Wars games. Because everyone was like, if you got like Darth Maul is too powerful. Everyone was also complaining about that. Like, if you were on a team with Darth Maul, Darth
Maul was killing everybody, boy.
All the other Warriors of Legends, if Darth Maul was called in, the game was over. So basically, if you were on the clone side, yes,
I brought Ray in, and the dude rolled up he had killed me with Darth Maul. I jumped back in with Ray. I sat up there. I did the little, slice thing, the slice move she did. Took him out. He wasn't getting hit. We ended up sitting there dueling for a couple of minutes. And I think we ended up like double killing each other, but somebody ended up shooting over the side of me, and ended up getting the kill. But I shut him down before he ended up getting like 20, 30 kills.
That shit was the main complaint in the forums for the new Star Wars Battlefront 2. And everyone was like, Darth Maul. The moment Darth Maul comes in, nobody can do shit. Nobody can kill him.
Boy.
Pretty much. And so they got to rebalance all that shit.
Well, see, hold up. So I got somebody who ended up being was Darth Maul or whatever, because I jumped in one of them little fighters or whatever, and I hovered towards the ground and started shooting. I had crashed the thing right above where he was, so the debris of the starfighter got in the way, and when I respawned, they had said, "Oh, Darth Maul's been killed by so and so." I was like, "Okay, cool." So we was back in the game. We was finna lose though, because he was hitting them He was hitting like 30 kills, and I'm like,
he's too strong. Like, that's the thing. He's too fucking strong.
Now, but watch, everybody that pre-ordered the game and get Yoda, Yoda gonna be a fool
if they do it that way. Because
no, it is. If you get them pre-ordered, that's the only way you can get them.
Well, I'm talking about in terms of his abilities in the game, because that's the thing. Yeah. If he's not as strong as Maul or stronger, and they don't have a way to balance that out, nobody's going to want to play on the opposite team. It's the same thing that happened like with Rainbow Six Vegas. And I hate to bring an old school Vegas. No, but we could do Modern Warfare 2. Depending on where you spawned in Modern Warfare 2, you knew whether or not you were going to win that round. Mm-hmm. You knew. Like, especially with the one, the one house where you're up on the hill and then they got the shed at the bottom. Mm-hmm. You knew for a fact if you spawned at the top of that house, you were set. If you spawned at the bottom, you were fucked. Because all they're gonna do is sit in the field and snipe you as you try to run out that shit, or up to the house or up through the field, and then there's some AC-130s and all that other shit. So it's they gotta do better shit. But yeah.
The next topic on the list, we're gonna go because we could sit up here all day and talk about microtransactions. So now to the more serious topic. So Tyrese, shout out Tyrese. He don't laugh, Breezy. It ain't funny. Tyrese has been in court. He was going off on, The Rock. He was going off on the cast members of, Fast and Furious. And now I see why he's going. It wasn't because he was, mad about the spinoff. He wasn't mad about no money per se, because Tyrese, he getting that money now. Now he right now is in a slump though. He kind of broke. Well, I ain't gonna say he broke because rich broke. Rich broke and broke what we had is two different things. So he probably down his last 100,000, and he got to pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? He probably got a couple hundred. But his ex-wife, because he was getting close, and I guess getting joint custody of his daughter. Now he got divorced from her. He was cool. Everything was cool, but I think when he got remarried, you know how chicks be getting mad if you move on or whatever. So she started using the kid as a weapon. So she jumped up last month and said that, and I think that's around the time he started going in with The Rock. Last month, she had said to the court that he had abused her and the child, and that's why that's why they got a restraining order and all that. And the studios ain't trying to mess with him or whatever, and that's why, he's looking for The Rock and everybody else to come help or vouch for him. Because to be fair, Tyrese does, when stuff does happen, Tyrese is there. You know what I'm saying? Tyrese stay for him when it comes to these rich folks. Like when Chris Brown got knocked, Tyrese was the first person there to help him out. When Dre got into it with Suge, he went down there trying to, get them to make peace or whatever, but you know how that ended up turning out, and but he's been there for a lot of different people, and to see him go through this and it's a lot, and not just him, but it's so many other people that just now is just like a chick can run up, say you sexually assaulted or abused or domestically abuse you, and you know what I'm saying, and almost, I don't know, man. It's basically making it hard. Like I don't know if I gotta go. I mean, I don't have to. I mean, how I be, Breezy. I'm a one-woman man anyway. But it's just like you gotta sit up. You gotta sit up and damn near write a permission slip to go kick that shit. You need that. You need
a 24-hour live stream.
Yeah, basically. And you need, surveillance. You need all of that, on your phone and your whip, all of that in your crib, and it's not every woman, you know what I'm saying? But, you need that. So when folks run up, like the dude ran up on that's in Star Trek, the new Star Trek that you can only get if you subscribe to NBC, damn Netflix. But he jumps up and says, yo, Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted me when I was 14 years old. No, like, and he was like, yo, I don't even know nothing about what you talking about, bro. If I did, I'm sorry. You know, I don't even remember back then. It was like 20 years ago. You know, Terry Crews ended up saying somebody had sexually assaulted him in front of his wife. You know, Michael, what is the dude name? I forget the dude's name. But that one Hollywood exec, you know, Bill Cosby, and a lot of other different people, man, had just, you know, some of them have been, like, even with Bill Cosby's main accuser got, you know, basically her case dismissed.
It was not only that, it was a couple of them other ones dismissed. And then guess what? One of the girls that accused him, she got caught in my state, or I think upstate somewhere, sneaking cocaine into the prison, visiting her ex-boyfriend.
Exactly. So it's just like, but see, my thing is, if you don't have no proof, you know, if they do a rape kit, or if they do, you know, if they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure Tyrese got some surveillance in that house, and once he turned it in and he verified and everything, the case get dropped.
Well, no, that's not the case, because I mean, who's to say he did it in his home? And let me state this: I don't think Tyrese did anything personally.
Me neither.
But it doesn't have to be in his home. It could have been anywhere. She's most likely making this up because she see the current trend right now of just accusing somebody and getting what you want. And this is the problem with a lot of the journalism going on right now, is nobody actually is investigating these things and calling the other parties that they're alleging these things happen to. They're just running with the fucking story because now it seems to be great to just bandwagon shit. But like, it was there was the owner of a gaming website, NeoGaf, that got accused. You had Harvey Weinstein, and Harvey Weinstein, I think, is believable because a lot more shit came out about him, specifically contracts with female employees he had written up where if he would sexually harass them, he would literally pay them hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, based upon how many times he harassed them. You had Bill O'Reilly, and they had audio tapes of Bill O'Reilly calling these women and masturbating over the phone as he called them. You know, so like, there are clear-cut cases of, yeah, you were sexually harassing people, and then there's other cases where you have women coming forward and men coming forward where, in my opinion, they're not victims. And I'll explain why, because I know that's a very weird stance to take. I don't feel they're victims because a lot of these cases, when you investigate and you look into them, they were doing it for something. They knew what the game was. They were doing it for some type of role in the movie. They were doing it for some type of financial gain, some financial boom. When you're a victim, there is no upswing. No. It happened to you. You are a victim. There's no benefit to it. A lot of these people, there's no benefit to when you're sexually assaulted or harassed.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm going to say that they are a victim, but I also say...
They're not victims. They are not victims. You cannot willingly go into, like, bruh, you cannot willingly go into a strip club, tell a stripper, you know, I'm not going to use a stripper. Better example. You cannot willingly go into a dentist's office and say, okay, yeah, you checking my teeth. How about you give me head and I give you $2,000? And then she gives you head, takes the $2,000, and then 10 years later says, oh, yeah, he forced me to give him head while I was cleaning his teeth. Like, no, I gave you $2,000 to blow me. This is what the situation is boiling down to. A lot of these people who are coming forward have ran out of money or they want more money. And they're coming forward to try to publicly shame some of these people for really sketchy shit that they knew they had no business going into. Even the whole situation with the kid with Kevin Spacey. He was a 14-year-old at a party full of adults who were drinking and engaging in sexual behavior. He went to Kevin Spacey's room, sat in his bed, watched TV. Kevin Spacey came in drunk, kissed the guy up, was like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to kiss you up, my bad. Although there's other shit about Kevin Spacey that's suspect that needs to be investigated. That's the whole thing with the not Corey Haim, the other Corey. The other Corey. You know, I can't think of his last name. But the other Corey that's on TV right now. But anyway, he left. And for 20 years, nobody heard from this guy. And then guess what? The fucking guy, and this is not an excuse, but the guy is gay. He's actually gay. This 34-year-old guy that accused Kevin Spacey of this is actually gay. So my question is this. If this kid was 19, and mind you, also add this into this, when this assault took place, Kevin Spacey wasn't even a household name. Kevin Spacey was just getting started as well. Kevin Spacey had no power. So it had to be somebody else Kevin Spacey was around that had power to keep him from coming forward, or it threw the kid off. He didn't expect that, and then later on he just knew he was gay, and now he decides to come forward.
Yeah, I mean, even with that, I mean that whole side of it, and then you got the rape side of it, and it's like we was talking about Baca. Like Baca, they were saying was convicted. He was Drake's homeboy, and ended up being convicted.
Hey, you can look at Mike Tyson.
I mean, but see, that's my thing, man. Like, it make me as a black man, like, it makes me like I feel like, you know, like I said, I don't feel like it in where I'm at now. But I mean, in the past, it has been chicks that, you know, I felt like, or not even just chicks, but just because you're at a certain place in your life, you gotta have. I shouldn't have to have no damn permission slip. I shouldn't have to have you hold the phone breezy while, you know, I'm on a date or something like that, or I'm in the
They'll charge me with accessory or some shit, bro. Don't give me.
No, I'm just saying. But I'm saying that's what these guys. A lot of these guys.
It's getting to this point.
Yeah, it's like this point. You gotta do. You gotta do it just to protect your livelihood.
And the sad part is, Dave Chappelle made jokes about this years ago. It's getting to the point now where you're going to have a lawyer in the room, and he's going to have to watch y'all fuck and watch y'all daily interactions. But it's not even going to stop there, because once the lawyer leaves and y'all done fucking, the woman or the man can still decide later on that they didn't agree with having sex with you, and then just say whatever to get you caught up in some shit. And it's not going to stop until the accusers, the people who are going out and making these false accusations when they themselves knew that they got some type of upswing from this shit, are punished. And I hate to say that, because it makes it seem like I'm victim blaming, but I'm not. Like, true victims of sexual assault crimes or any type of sexual harassment crimes, they're the ones who need to be in the forefront, not these actresses and actors who unfortunately were trying to play the game, got cashed out, and now they're seeing another way to play the game. Because the same thing happened not too long ago with, you remember Chris Brown, where some random white chick was in his house saying he pulled a gun out and he was waving a gun around, and there was a gun with duffel, and he released all of that footage from his home with his security cameras. You think the news retracted those stories of him being no?
And they had the damn whole LAPD outside, like the 5-star level of Grand Theft Auto.
Do you think the news reported? Listen, do you think the news reported that out of the 70 accusers of Bill Cosby, 69 of them have been dismissed? 69, and the one who's trying to now re-get him to go to court, it was just recently thrown out because they asked her, and this is something that the news didn't cover. They asked her in her written testimony, said, listen, if he was assaulting you every time you went over to his house giving you pudding pops or whatever, why did you keep going back to his house? The first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. She went back to him 11 different times. 11 different times. If you are a victim, you don't willingly go back to get assaulted 11 different times. You got to go home. Most victims don't get to go home. And if they do, they shell shocked, they feel dirty, they want to shower, and they just want to forget the whole thing happened. They don't go on media tours. Have you noticed that? Every one of the victims that come forward go on a fucking media tour, and they always represented by the same woman, Gloria.
Hold on. Breezy, you break it. Oh shit, you dropping too much knowledge, bro. You breaking up. Damn, remember as soon as you said
Is it working now? Is it working now? Okay, what I was saying was, it's amazing that all of these victims go on media tours For years, they go on media tours, all the different news websites, all the different journalists interview them, all these MSNBC, CNN, ABC. They get news interviews, they get these news tours, and it's always the same shit. And I'll tell you why it's always the same shit when it comes to a lot of these accusations. It's because it takes nothing for me to turn on the news, watch the next 45 minutes with Don Lemon, got my own gripes with him, watch 45 minutes of Don Lemon interviewing these women to make some fucking story up, and then all I got to do is say the same thing that she said or he said, and now guess what? I'm also a victim of this person. Meanwhile, you have people like Charlie Sheen, who we know ran around HIV positive, fucking people with no condoms. You have people like what's the one actor, not the one director for the X-Men movies, who we know was fucking Bryan Singer, who we know was fucking 13 and 12-year-old girls on set. Who we know for a fact he fled the country when he was convicted of that shit. And Fox and all these other big movie studios still fucking hire him for movies. We have people that we know for a fact are guilty, but they unfucking touchable. Meanwhile, you get random accusation against random accusation against all these people where it's...
Yeah, if you black, then you might as well just go ahead, hang it up.
Yeah.
Unless you, because I remember Joe Budden, old punk ass, talking about my bad, y'all. I told y'all I was gonna be.
Joe Budden. He was another one accused of beating his girlfriend and everything. But I think that was true.
No, but see, Joe Budden ain't hot enough for nobody to care. So I'm gonna keep it positive with every rapper, but I ain't scared of Joe Budden. I done seen Joe Budden he held that L to the Wu-Tang. So. When I get up on Everyday Struggle, if he want to take it there, then that'll just be. But I don't want no violence because I'm on all y'all rappers. That's why I kind of took a break from the vlogging. I want y'all rappers to stay over there because I ain't scared of y'all. I'm scared of me because I got to hold mine down. So anyway,
I'm gonna wrap this up. All I'm saying is, if you're a victim, you go to the police as soon as possible. You get a report filed because that's on paper. They can pull the report. They can see it. All right. That's what you're supposed to do. You tell friends and family what happened, and you go to the police department. You don't wait 20 fucking years and then decide all of a sudden you want to come forward because now you have 20 years worth of other victims who are now potentially affected by this. And what pisses me off more than anything else is you had one of the Corys, not Corey Haim, because that's the one who died, is Corey Feldman. I looked it up right quick. Corey Feldman has been talking about this huge pedophile ring in Hollywood since before I was even fucking born. And everybody dismissed him. Everybody ignored him. Everybody threw him under the bus. And then you see some of these interviews he's having, and everyone's just like, you should just name names. You should just name names. It's like, no, you don't just name names because you need to protect yourself. When you're talking about an industry, which is Hollywood, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and some of these power players at play who have millions of dollars at their disposal to do dumb, silly shit with, you just don't randomly accuse somebody in the public sphere because guess what? They'll sue you to all hell. That's why Bill Cosby right now is countersuing all of his accusers into financial hell and then some. And you just can't do. And then there's been other out-of-court claims that were also where they were countersued. I think not Chris Brown. It was another person had a countersuit against his accuser. But it's like people who are true victims who I feel have facts. There's a proper way to go about some shit and there's a wrong way to go about some shit. And the wrong way, in my opinion, is to go out there and just start naming fucking names. Because what you do, number one, is you put these people on alert. And now they can start hiding evidence. The best way to do it is go to the police, get a small police report, work with some journalists, get them to investigate stuff and do some digging, and then blow the lid off the whole fucking story and catch these motherfuckers in the act like they did Jared years ago. Because there have been reports on Jared for years, and it was a long-term investigation. He did. That was a great case and whatnot. I'm done.
So and to slide over into, we went into the sexual assault thing, but we just had two separate incidents. Like I was saying,
Nelly was another one that was fucking accused. I'm sorry, Nelly was also fucking accused this year.
I ain't speaking on that because it's the home team. So
R. Kelly was accused again, even though we know R. Kelly do that shit. but just Jesus fucking Christ.
So I mean, and to slide into this next thing, because I was talking about the rappers earlier and talking about how me as a vlogger, because I've kind of slowed up on the vlogging because I feel like I don't want to have to duck and dodge or have to avoid certain people. Like I said, not because I ain't afraid. It's just I'm not trying to be in a position that I had to defend myself or retaliating. We just had Lil B get jumped by like 15 dudes backstage that was affiliated with A Boogie with the hoodie and PNB Rock. And then the week before that, or last month, Dolph ended up getting shot, in the same. Now, Gotti is saying Gotti got dropped or dismissed as a part of this case, but a lot of one of his entourage members ended up getting hit with a misdemeanor charge or whatever because it was an altercation. Dolph just got out the hospital or whatever. He was shot they shot him in his ass. They shot him 3 times in the arm or whatever, but he's out. So my next thing is, now, then the other part now they got Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. They trying to say they beefing, but they not beefing. Like, we got all these folks dying. One of the guys, Doughboys, cash out. My question is, man, if everybody getting money, if everybody getting the bag, getting 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000, some people getting 100, some people getting 300, some people getting $500,000 to perform. I heard French and Meek's entourage got into it the other night. Like, what is we doing out here? We got old rappers, like I said, we got Trick Daddy and Lord Jamar and all these other cats criticizing. They got rappers talking about they gonna pull up on vloggers and all this shit. What is we doing, man? If everybody got a fucking bag, why do y'all gotta prove to the next person? Like, I understand it was back in the day. It's
not even them proving to the. It's not even them proving to the next person. They doing it for themselves because they don't believe in the shit they saying anyway. So they gotta do it to make themselves seem bigger than what they really are. And the next thing is there's no individuality anymore with some of this music that's coming out. They all sound the same, got the same beat, the same fucking tempo, the same fucking lyrics. All of them sound the fucking same. That's one of the reasons why I don't listen to hip hop music no more, unless it's some random dudes from YouTube rapping about anime and manga, or some chill step shit with like some of the vocal singers out of California or whatever, or it's some Asian rappers or some shit. Because most American rap sounds the fucking same. They don't want to reinvent themselves. They don't even know how to invent themselves. They just look at what the next dude do, mumbling his way onto the fucking stage, and they mumble their dumb ass way up onto the fucking stage. And next thing you know, they on and popping. They don't believe the shit they say, so they got to act hard for no fucking reason.
I mean, I agree with you to a point. Some people got the same.
Bro, for a minute, I couldn't tell the difference between Future and Designer until one of my ex-girlfriends sat me down and told me the difference.
I mean, yeah.
Bro, come on. Yeah. And then the crazy thing is, T-Pain uses auto-tune as well, and he come out and he has still a complete unique sound to himself. Where I can always, okay, that's Pain. Future, Designer, I'm sure there's another one named Stripe or something, some other weird ass name that's gonna come out of the woodwork before long, and they all sound the same. They all sound the same. They all downloaded Fruity Loops because it's on sale for Christmas or some shit, and they all watched a YouTube video how to make a trap beat or some shit, and they produced that shit. And matter of fact, no, there's a black dude. Oh god, I forget his name. I gotta pull him up. It's called Mr. Johnson's Choir.
Oh yeah,
this dude make better songs than the rappers who make songs. The singers are better than the rappers.
I mean, that's a testament because you got Weeknd out here, Ty Dolla $ign, Trey Songz, Chris Brown out here dropping, Gucci Man size albums and shit.
Like seriously,
I still like the new kids. Some of that shit, like I still like. I fuck with the Migos, fuck with Future. I like a couple of Playboy Cardi songs or whatever. I like a little Uzi a little bit, but man, I just feel like man, it's just the beef is just as staged as these sexual allegations, man. Like,
Oh, we know the beef is WWE shit. We know that.
I mean, but people is out here dying again, man. Like, you know, get shot, get popped. They out here dying again, and
I got a very grim view of that shit, but okay.
So
I got a very grim view of that shit, but okay.
No, go ahead.
I'm just like, yo, let them take each other out, so someone who's better can take their lane. That's how I feel about it. That's how I honestly feel.
I don't even think about. I mean, damn, Breeze.
But because they all terrible. They're all fucking terrible.
I mean, but this is how I look at it. The listener, just like I said with the games, the listener has to be the person who that the kids want to hear this shit. The kids
just as ignorant as the motherfucker in front of the microphone.
But see, that's the point.
They don't care.
That's the point. But that's my point, though, Breezy. To these kids, just like when people wanted to hear the gangster shit, 50, the lot. Well, till these motherfuckers get older, till we get old, like it's just like with us and like Lil Wayne and not Lil Wayne.
There's a difference though with our generation of gangster shit. Our generation of gangster
lyrical. Yeah, we was
not even lyrical. Not even lyrical. Our gangster shit, people that we listen to, they had a goal in mind with most. They had their party songs, they had their I'ma fuck you up, kill you songs. But all of their popular, for the most part, their popular songs all had a I'm trying to get out of the hood, don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. And it was always that simple. Then when they got out, they changed. They started to mature and they started to go more towards the party rock, hip hop shit. Even Walker changed his whole look and it said, you know what, I'm going back to the party shit. I'm only going to work with my fans who worry about me and want to do the party shit. Of course, hit them in the head with a 2x4 like we playing fucking Dead Rising is going to be popular. Because you cater to the lowest common denominator. It's easy to cater to the lowest common denominator because they don't want nothing other than raw shit. That's all they want. It's not hard to make these tracks. That's why we have so many of these rappers.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Right? Yeah, I'm not crazy. Shit easy.
Hey, but I just want people to stop shooting and killing each other and stop running up on vloggers and shit and because I shouldn't have to worry about defending myself because I ain't scared. I'm not. If
anything, you're gonna show them how weak they are. Like, how hard are you running up on a vlogger?
But I mean, really? But see, the thing about it is we dealing with, excuse my French, folks, niggas, and when you dealing with niggas, you're gonna end up having to deal with niggas the way that you.
I ain't gonna have to deal with them. The coroner gonna have to deal with them. I ain't gonna have no problems. So you won't. I ain't gonna have to deal with them.
I'm just. I'm not even gonna talk about them no more because
I'm on my Malcolm X shit right now, bro. Like
I'm gonna let academics and Quarcino. If I talk about a rapper or something, I want to talk about the positive shit. That's the next thing. We perpetuate negativity.
No, like, it's not a they. Because you know what? Listen,
they do.
We don't have. Listen, everybody got smartphones and cameras and shit. They do. Real shit. They do. And there's hundreds of different websites like WorldStar and YouTube and all that other shit. That's true. But at the end of the day, the reason that shit goes mainstream is because some executive CEO at the head of Sony Entertainment I
don't even think it's that. No, it's what the consumer.
Bruh, how you think these songs get on the radio?
But I'm talking about this is the thing though. As consumers, like, and I'm going back to it.
Who puts this shit in front of the consumer?
But I'm saying nowadays the people are going direct to the consumer. Now, games is still an industry where it's still caught, like you was telling me before. A lot of these guys are independent and they getting their shit added to the radio independent, like XXX Tentacion, but he did a complete 360 and fucked the whole game up because he came in on the rah-rah shit, but then he actually started talking about shit.
Yeah.
And it fucked up the whole game. So now you got a lot of people trying to click up and beef because it was a second where everybody was beefing. There's still a lot of beef going on, but you also got a lot of people clicking up collaborations and shit like that, shit trying to be made done. But it's still the consumer because what I'm saying is you got upper middle class and high class people that are buying, and Lecrae even put this in perspective.
Bruh, let me. I hate to keep jumping in front of you. I really do. But at the end of the day, without this YouTube shit, this World Star shit, who's putting this bullshit music in front of us? Who?
I mean, but I'm saying before, if this was 10 years ago, Breezy, like I would give you that.
Bruh,
but nowadays, the labels, even the game studios, is like the labels got to sign the hottest thing that the consumer the people have already blown up. Yeah, they putting it on the radio for.
There you go.
But I'm saying they putting it on the radio for.
And that makes it mainstream.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. But nowadays, they're not taking people, the consumer, are blowing up the artists till they get to our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and the media at large and the people that ain't even really, if they see something, they like it, or they hear it, they like it, or they play a demo and they like it, then they get on it. We as the gamers, we as the fans of the music and the movies and shit like that, we have to be vocal, just like with the Star Wars shit. If we're not vocal on it now, it's getting further and further away, and that's why you got microtransactions. That's why you got the artists that YouTube now counts as a stream. YouTube streams counts as actual streams when it comes to Billboard and SoundScan and all the other shit. It's because because you got folks in the hood that want to hear this shit. Then you got folks in the suburbs, because Lecrae had put it. I was listening to him, and he put it like this. He said, "Look, we started hip hop trying to tell our story and get, like you said, get out the hood. But eventually, when people started buying, because niggas ain't buying, but niggas ain't buying into they not buying into rap music like that. We'll listen to it on YouTube for free. We'll get the bootleg. We'll hear it on the radio, and we'll get a 30-day trial to Google Play, Spotify, Apple Music, or we'll get Spotify or Pandora or some free shit, my mixtapes or whatever the fuck." The consumer base is young, middle-aged suburbia, white suburbia, Mexican, Asian suburbia, upper class. I got, a job at 16. My parents got money. They spending the money to take them to go see Lil Uzi and Migos and all these other motherfuckers, because they're essentially are funding the artist, so then they can get in front of a Sony or Atlantic or Capitol or Warner or shit like that. And then same thing with the games. The games come out. A game will come out free, like Minecraft. The people will get behind Minecraft until it gets so big that Microsoft, okay, we'll give you $1 billion for this shit, or we'll give you a couple billion. It's the people. I can see 10 years ago or 15 years ago, Breezy, when we was growing up, but the people are buying this shit. Now they starting to wake up, which we seen with war shit.
The consumer has always been the main force for making a product successful. Always. I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is, I'll tell you. What I'm saying is this, right? I got rappers in my state, like you got rappers in your state that are hot, that can tour in the state, make good money, right? And they can have a breakout song,
but
they can have a breakout song that'll do 400,000-500,000, right, on YouTube, right? And from that buzz, they'll get picked up by, for all intents and purposes, a studio executive or a radio person, right? They're then put on the radio. Radio is still one of the #1 ways to hear new music, besides YouTube and the internet shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't change the fact that we are not the ones putting out and letting what music get blasted to every other state. We're not the ones doing it. It is still a predominantly white-controlled media force, okay, that's determining what plays, what doesn't play, what's going to be hot, what's not going to be hot. And when I say what's going to be hot, I'm talking across the entire country, the United States, and then even internationally. Because most of these rappers, because you in the shit, most of these rappers only get hot in the state.
Yep.
They don't go past the state.
So that's what I'm saying. If the market ain't big enough, then they ain't gonna have no career for real career.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. We have these rappers who really are only state level rappers getting fucking worldwide attention because random executives who are really money hungry are seeing, oh, here's another Pop-Tart motherfucker. Let me throw this snack out here, get everybody to eat off that. Okay, he done cooled off. Let me find another Pop-Tart motherfucker to put out there and make him more popular. It's still, we have no control over that. Okay? Even if we say, all right, we ain't going to listen to no more Baby Kids type music. We ain't going to listen to no more of that shit. Right? Like you said, hip-hop is still is purchased by a majority of a white audience, and they live vicariously through the black artists that they listen to. Them white suburban kids are going to still buy that shit. Them white suburban kids are going to still put them dollars out for that shit because that's how they feel hip-hop or hood until the police show up. Okay? So they not going to shut that shit down. We as black folk have been turned off to that shit. We don't want that shit. We've been turned off to that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this because we're gonna move on to our last topic. I just feel like it's a combination of the two now. I feel like because the labels are hemorrhaging, they have to find it before they could just find something Joe Smo off the street and then have them, rehearse the lines and they blow them up and they could totally control it. But I feel like you graduate when you get a deal, or like XXX, he did 80,000 on his own, 100,000, 100,000 or 200,000 in the first month by himself. He had a distribution deal, and then he turned around and they was gonna give him a $6 million deal, but because he ended up voiding the contract because something happened behind the scenes, and they trying to renegotiate it, but Capitol trying to give him $6 million because he that influential. He got over 1 million people on his Instagram. He turned a 360. So it's like you gotta get to your city, your state, your region, and then the world. And then once it catches on, you can go and get a deal, or you can stay independent. A lot of people don't stay independent, which I don't know why, because I'd rather, like Troy Ave, shout out for him putting me on a mixtape earlier this year. I'd rather have 95 or whatever it is with the distribution or whatever for my sales. I got my rights, I got my masters. I'm just basically paying motherfuckers to put it online and put it in the store. You know what I'm saying? And then I could pay them back. I pay them up front, and then I pay for the next album in the recuperation of it. So I don't have, and I can sell my merch. I could, I may not be on MTV, BET, all that unless I'm paying, or But I'd rather have more control. And I think a lot of these people want to be mainstream because it's like, well, shit, we got to get all this money, but then they end up, broke, or they end up, when something happens, they live in this big extravagant lifestyle, and then the fuck shit like shit happened with Tyrese, or or somebody try to come and act hard, and they end up getting their ass blowed off or getting shot or whatever. There is no, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I feel like you still got to graduate. And I feel like a lot of people, man, I think a lot of it still is the consumer first. And
I think what you just said is America on the head. They got to graduate. These are a bunch of middle school ass mind thinking children and high school mind thinking children who are in front of a microphone or a camera phone, their iPhone, rapping about ignorant ass shit. They all saying the same damn thing, but one lucky one out the bunch gets picked up and put in front of the camera, and this is where the mainstream thing comes in, is they go mainstream, and now their music video is all over TV, his song is all over the radio, and they see how he got started on his YouTube channel making song after song after song that did 1,000 views here, 500 views here, but then he had the right combination of songs and music video, and it pops off, and then they just like, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing, and then they do the whole same process. The one who kicked the shit off was Soulja Boy.
I mean,
he kicked the shit off.
Yeah, we gonna go ahead and move. Cause like I said, man, I just hope that the bullshit just
they need to graduate
to a minimum. So we're gonna move on to our last thing that we end up getting the show cracking anyway, and we came back and we coming back for y'all daily for y'all. So make sure y'all get the likes up right quick. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe for the one time. Hit the notification so y'all know we upload, go live, and all that. You know, I put a little rhyme together. But this week, Sony Paris Games Week popped off. This is the first annual Sony Paris Games Week. I got it up here. So they showed off God of War, of course. They showed off Battlefront. Sucker Punch's new game, Ghost of Tsushima, Star Child, Bolt of Blood, Monster Hunter World gonna have Alloy on the PS4, Spider-Man, Call of Duty, Last of Us, Erica, Blood and Truth, Detroit, the Hong Kong Massacre, Guacamelee, Concrete Genie, which I like, and Splunking, and then Horizon, Zero Dawn and Frozen Wild, which I gotta go back and finish. But I watched it, Breezy, and most of it was cinematic, so I was like, I'm hyped. I need to go back and finish Guacamelee, by the way, too. But like, I'm hyped for the shit coming out, but it wasn't like, I just didn't get that feeling from this E3. I didn't get it from Gamescom. I didn't get it from Tokyo Game Show. Like, I remember we used to sit back and watch, and y'all can go back and watch the ones we did and the ones that we just was on a Skype call, watching was just like our jaws dropped to the floor. We went crazy. Our peoples ran in the door, kicking the door in because we were screaming at the top of our lungs, getting hyped. And I just don't feel like we got that this year. Like at any of these, we got PlayStation Experience getting ready to come out. I think they're gonna have some demos for some of this shit they didn't show, and maybe a couple of things. But I just didn't. I mean, am I crazy, Breezy, or this what happened?
Oh no, that's what happened. I mean, it's just we've hit a point now where a lot of the big studios are still working on 2 and 3 year projects, and they're announcing them too soon. And so they're relying really on the smaller indie companies who can make a game in a year to a year and a half to put them out. Unfortunately, indie games aren't console sellers, unfortunately. And it seems Sony and Microsoft don't understand that.
Hold on, Breezy. They still trying to cut you off, Breezy. Hold on right quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Damn it. Hold on. Breezy, unmute yourself. Because you would sound like Darth Vader on him. Hold on right quick. Who hit me? I had tried to mute him. Hold on. Breezy, you there? Hold on right quick. You got to unmute yourself, bro. My bad. Hold on. Hold on. I'm finna bring you. Click the link. I'm finna get you. Oh, there you go. Damn.
I didn't mute myself. I don't know how that happened.
I did, but you coming through like the robot.
Oh, so, okay.
Hold on right quick. Yeah, you just want to make sure they who is this hitting me? Yeah, so all right, so we go you there, Breezy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you still. We gonna go ahead and close it out. But yeah, Breezy. So you said
I was just saying that Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo still don't understand that indie titles are not console sellers. They're just padding for what new exclusive is going to come out to justify owning that platform. Maybe something next year will pop off and we'll see a big thing next year, because I mean we got a lot of titles out there floating. We got Final Fantasy VII. We got
Final Fantasy VII, Kingdom Hearts, God of War.
The new game from Insomniac, not Insomniac.
Sucker Punch, we just saw today.
Yeah, Sucker Punch. There you go. The new Samurai game out there.
Yeah.
You got Death Stranding from Kojima. I mean, there's a bunch of big AAA studios, and let's just say call it professional studios. All the single A, double A, triple A. All the studios are out there, but they're just not. They're quiet right now. They're not doing anything. EA is closing them all up. Like there's a funny meme about EA taking all of the studios they buy out into the backyard and shooting them. And just like fuck. Like hold on, I'll find that shit. You can post this as like the picture or whatever. But yeah, man, they'll get it together.
Oh, okay. So John Iro from Real Gamer News, he just hit me. It might be my computer. Thanks, John. It might you still coming in clear. So it just mine just tripping. I just wanted to make sure that the quality was still there. But my computer tripped at time.
You're good.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I agree. I just feel like they I think they trying to be more hands-on with the communities, because it felt like for a while it was just like they was touching down. They wasn't going in the in-between. They wasn't going to Paris. They wasn't going to Mexico. Now they're doing stuff down in Mexico. They wasn't going to Australia. You got PAX out there. It's more and more conventions and more events popping up, and I think that's what this was for. And I think that's why they chose to unveil some of the stuff here and they kind of spread it out. Because if they did all of this at E3, it would have kind of padded it. I feel like I think Xbox is gonna have to really come with some games too, because it was just like this the meme.
Yeah, that's the meme, and they got all the other studios they bought and killed. You got Pandemic there, you got Bullfrog, you got Maxis.
Yeah, man.
Now Visceral's on the pile.
Damn. But yeah. I mean, and I feel like the big studios, the third party studios, need to go ahead on and just stick to the big franchises. They don't need to try to open up get a studio. If they're gonna take a game, don't try to do 15,000 spinoffs on it. I don't need a Call of Duty or a Dead Space comic. I don't need a Call of Duty or a Dead Space movie. Like the Assassin's Creed movie I heard was mediocre. I haven't sat down and watched it yet. But I watched. Bro. Oh man, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it just ain't even. It's. I feel like that we just need to stick to like have the indie games come out, have the sequels and actually do right by the sequel. Like Anthem, it looks nice, but it killed Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm about to play Mass Effect Andromeda though, because it's on EA Access now. I'm gonna check it out because I heard it wasn't that bad. I just heard they didn't do well on the story was kind of hanging at the end, but that's a BioWare thing. We gotta have a cliffhanger. It ain't a BioWare game without a cliffhanger, or not a conundrum, but something that flips it on a twist or whatever at the end. But yeah, man. I look forward to the horizon. No pun intended. To see what's going on. And Breezy, I thank you for coming on. We're gonna be back tomorrow. I'm going to see Thor Ragnarok, and hopefully I'm gonna get to meet Bun B here. It'll be my birthday tomorrow, but fuck it, we still going in. This your boy, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, favorite, subscribe. We will be moving the show to a new YouTube channel. Also, if y'all don't know, we got a SoundCloud page. I done put all the old episodes on SoundCloud, and it's here for y'all to see right quick. If I can put if my computer loaded. But we got a new SoundCloud. All the old episodes archived. We're getting ready to update the Facebook page too, as well. This episode, soon as it goes up on YouTube, it's gonna get ripped down. I'm putting it on Facebook, and then we're gonna start putting up the new episodes. So we got all the old episodes for y'all to go and listen to. I'm about to edit this spotlight here, and we're gonna update for y'all. Try to update for y'all daily if possible. We're gonna pick a topic. We're gonna pick some things to talk about, and we're gonna be here. We opening up the floor to the fans, the listeners, supporters, to our Beats and Bitz fam. And like I said, when we get beatsandbitz.com open, hold on right quick. When we get beatsandbitz.com open to the public, we will be having some creators come on, and I want to break everybody off and get everybody that's on the website. I want to get some of the the best and brightest and up and coming writers and bloggers and even artists, like break everybody off. We're gonna have a merch section. So if y'all want to support the show, because we're doing it all without AdSense and AdWords, because we don't want to get censored. We don't want to get taken down. We got the website here too. I'm probably gonna be looking for some offsite hosting or some internal hosting as well. So we want to keep the show for the listeners and the viewers and everybody else, and not having to worry about getting in, reviewing a certain product, or reviewing a certain artist or whatever a certain way with a certain score. We ain't got to do that. If people want to still send us review codes, we will disclose that. Like I'm getting ready to do my review on Brawlhalla. Shout out to Blue Mammoth Games. If people want to still send us the music early, or we had to listen to it or whatever, we're not gonna get strong arm or censored or whatever by nobody, and that's just what the future of Beats and Bitz is. And like I said, all the money that goes into it will be going to pay the artists, the vloggers, the people that we have guests on the show and on the site. And after everybody gets taken care of, and then back into the presentation, giveaways, game drops, money drops, music drops, whatever y'all want, we gonna have it. So after that, being breezy, will be then taken care of, but we gonna make sure we build this up bigger and better for y'all. The first gaming website with a free I want this to be the first gaming and music website that everybody got broken off. Everybody got to do what they do, their own thing, and promote their own movement. It's not about any one person or one entity. This is a community. This is a family. Beats and Bitz was forged between me and Breezy, and this is how we roll. This is how we rock, and we want to invite everybody. As long as you come in peace and come in positivity. Only thing we ask for the writers is that they tell people that hey, we up and running. I'll be putting content out for it. If Breezy wants to put out, he's working on his game right now. But if he wants to put content out for it, or stream or whatever, like I said, like Lil Wayne saying, we ain't shit without y'all. So if y'all want us to be out here hitting donuts and Lamborghinis and inviting y'all, then we'll do that. But if y'all want us to, do giveaways and give back, I'm straight, Breezy straight. We doing this for y'all, man. So if y'all want to help build the empire up, if y'all want to pick who the best and brightest, you want that real hip hop, or you want the mumble rap, we gonna have the best of the best for you. All that. So thank y'all for supporting us, man, for over the last 2 or 3 years, and stay tuned, man. This is your boy Killzown, Breezy. You got anybody you want to shout out before we get up out of here?
No, these nuggets I'm about to eat. That's pretty much it. I'm hungry.
All right. But shout out to my boys, man, Geekly Podcast, Yuki the Snowman, Keenan Sargent, John Iro from Real Gamer News, Darius over there, Mike Check Global. Shout out to everybody, man, that's listening. This live. We do have super chat if you want to do that too. You know, we got a couple of dollars. Go ahead. You know, we might be able to go and buy a slice of pizza from Quick Trip or a couple of them star rolls from Quick Trip. But we out of here, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We love y'all. We do this for y'all, man. We out. Peace.